So this movie had so much personal connection with you. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's inspired by my own story, adopting 3 kids out of the foster care system. And so obviously it's a very personal, important story to me.
Yeah, and did your wife kind of help write the script or just give you
yeah, I
memories
mean,
and stuff?
She and I had to sit down and really talk because by the time I was thinking of making it into a movie, we had sort of gotten on the other side of the harder times, and we were kind of just a normal family by then. So we had to really sit down and remember those really tough times when the kids first got there and we were really, you know, in over our heads.
Yeah. Now, what was the span? This is just curiosity of like the span of kind of the hardship and then kind of where, yeah, it's lovely when they say in the movie, oh, mommy or daddy, you know, and it's like touches them. What was that kind of span for you?
That timeline is different for everybody. Some people, usually there's a honeymoon period and then a really hard adjustment period, and sometimes that honeymoon period can go on for months. For me, the honeymoon period lasted about 6 hours, and then things got rough right away. But our period was fairly short in the sense that I think our adjustment period was really about 4 to 6 months. And once we were really through that, we really were feeling like a real family.
Yeah. Any of these moments that are in the movie happen to you guys?
Oh yeah, several. The one that always stands out to me is there's a scene in the movie where Mark and Rose are having a conversation in bed, trying to figure out, like, just feeling like they made a terrible mistake, and is there some way out of this? And my wife and I really had that conversation, but of course they knew, just like we knew, that they weren't going to get out of it.
Right.
And that's what you sort of persevere through to get to the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, parenthood, I just became a parent. I have a 1-year-old. It is those kind of moments where you're like, oh, like, are we prepared for this? Did we do? But I think it was so lovely that you put your story in there and kind of your hope and dream. Talk about your hope and dreams for, you know, the foster kids or like people seeing the movie.
Well, I really want this movie to give people a more positive outlook on who these kids are and what these kids can bring to a family. The goal isn't to get everybody who sees the movie to run out and adopt kids, but I think if people just have a more positive outlook on these kids and a little more respect for what they're persevering through and who they are, then at the very least, then if somebody they know decides to foster or adopt, that they'll hopefully be positive and supportive of that. And that would be amazing.
Yeah. And did it feel a little different directing it too because it was your personal story?
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part was that I was in tears so much while we were making the movie, and that was embarrassing. I would be hiding back behind the monitor, kind of trying to get myself together before I would go back out to give more notes or thoughts.
Yeah. No, I love it, and I'm very proud of you for doing something so personal to you and like bringing it out there. So
oh, thank you.
I really enjoyed it, and I liked the aspect of bringing in the laughter.
Yeah.
I think that was really key to show that, you know, there are great times with the hardships and everything. So.
Well, it was important for 2 reasons. One, because in my true story, so many things happened that were really funny, and so I wanted to convey that. But also because a lot of times movies on this topic tend to be these really tough, gut-wrenching, gritty dramas that a lot of people are kind of afraid to sit down for, and I wanted to just make something that, no, this is a really good time at the movies. It's really funny, and there's a lot of heart in it, but it doesn't shy away from the reality of the situation either.
Here we are!
Make yourself at home, because you are at home.
Do you like the Clippers?
Oh, I'm more of a Lakers fan. Oh, no!
You hit me because I like the Clippers!
I think the Clippers are awesome. They were smart for trading Blake Griffin, their best player.